This is Ben at trulysimplesolutions.com, and we're going to look in FlatRate Pro at the items today, kind of look at the different things you can do with them and how you look at them in different ways in the reports. So we're going to go ahead and go to items, and this is the main item detail view. On most of the layouts you can use this little triangle if you want to hide the side list. You just click it and then it doesn't show the side list when you want to have more screen space, or click it again to show it. So that's where the filters are that let you sort out what you're going to see as far as a list of items on the side of the detail, which helps you work with it. So as you can see, category right now is toilet repair parts. We're going to clear that, and now it's got all of the items that are in the database there. You can use these to narrow down what parts you're going to see, but there's several other ways in which to find the parts and look at the some of the reports here. And one of my favorites is this one, the equipment report, for companies that use equipment like heating, ventilation, air conditioning, boilers. I would include water heaters in that, and we'll go ahead and click the equipment report, and that's going to open in another window. And what it does is it finds all of the data that's in your database where it is marked as the type is marked as equipment. So when I do that again there, so this happens to be a material, but equipment, if it's marked equipment, it's going to show up in this report automatically, and then it's going to make it separated by the brands. Now this is an interesting report. It doesn't look like much right here, but it's interactive, and that means that when you click on things, like this is showing manufacturer, if we go manufacturer and category, now within the manufacturer you see all of the categories that are there, and you can then look at include subcategory. So within that you've got the subcategories all the way down to the item detail. And notice up here the found records are 1,230, and if you watch that as I cycle through these different views, you're just changing the view of the data. And that can be useful, but of course you don't want to look at 1,200 records in a detail like this to try to find what you're looking for. So what you can do is start at the top and say, okay, I'm interested in looking at Burnham boilers, for instance. If I click that, that's going to open another little window that's just the Burnham records. You can see there's 24 records, and within that we've got the direct vent, the gravity, the oil-fired power vent, sealed combustion, and also an indirect water heaters. So any one of those, we can either click here and see the item detail of all of those records, since it's only 24. That can be useful. But if it was, say, more records than this, maybe you only wanted to isolate direct vent heaters, and there they are. You can click on a row also, so when you're looking at a larger list of data, like if we were over here and looking at all of this data and you're trying to show someone with you which unit you're talking about, you can highlight that. And we'll go back over here, and so as we drill down on this report, we can also just go ahead and say, okay, well, this is the one I want to look at. That you click that item and it drills you down right to the item itself. And now notice that's just another item detail window like the one over here, but this one we've drilled down to find that particular item. We can see the the detail, the manufacturer ID, any other details, and if we have HVAC details entered in on it, like this one, we could put it as that it's got an input of 130,000 BTUs. I don't know what the output, but your manufacturer has that, and CFM for the furnaces, and sear size, ton size, TXV. All of those come in handy, especially when you're dealing with equipment. So I'm going to close a couple of those. And we're going to go back to, well, we can just go back to our manufacturers here so we can take a look at HVAC equipment. We'll choose York. And we're going to take a look at air handlers, variable speed. Now, let's see if I've got any of that data entered there under HVAC details. Notice on all items also that you can put the different vendors that you buy them from. And it's easy to add a vendor. If, say, this product was available at another, I can just click Add Vendor and choose a vendor that may also sell that one. And then that one's added, and then they may have their specific item number, which might be XYZ394 or something like that, with a code 65. And then you could put that their price is, say they have it for $693. So now you can keep track of where things are at. And you want to see that vendor, you can tap that and go right into that vendor and take a look at their detail. And if they have branch locations, that's going to show. And I'll show you vendors on another video. But that's a really useful little feature. And there's always a back button to go back to where you were. So HVAC details. Okay, in this one we did have the CFM entered, the ton size, and TXV no. So that's about what we have on those reports for the equipment detail. Now I just want to show you another one here. Is you've also got item category or item manufacturer. So if we go item manufacturer, it's the same type of report, but it's going to list all the items that are marked as material as opposed to equipment, and it's going to be a list of each manufacturer. So if you wanted to look at a particular manufacturer, you can click it and then drill down on what types of parts that you've grouped in that manufacturer. So if it was toilet tank repair parts, we could look at the flapper, for instance, and that one has no image, but that is that item. It's just quite useful to be able to find where your parts are and find it in a quick and easy way. Now the difference of the item material report versus item category report is it's going to be the same type of report as the material report, but it's going to find it based on the category as opposed to the manufacturer. So if you were looking for brass fittings, you can click that and see the things that are marked as brass fittings. Or you wanted boiler controls, you can go in that way and then see whatever's marked in that category, and all of the same features as far as going to the task detail is work. So we're really excited about being able to keep track of our items in this way, because as you know, there's a lot involved with having a good track on what items you have. And there's another video we discussed on assemblies, so it's going to show there if an item is used in a task. I'm going to jump to this one. You can see it's highlighted there. That little highlight means that there is a task, and if we wanted to see that task, 4-zone switching relays, the name of the task, we can click that and go and see that yes, that part's there, along with some miscellaneous task parts. And then you can use the back button to go back to where you were. And I think that's what we've got to show you on items. We'll take a look if there's any other thing. The various fields here, you can use or not use them. They're just there to be able to keep track of things. Like stock item is useful because in your filters you can find items that are in stock only, and you could say, okay, I want to search for the items in stock that are, and you can type, I want to see copper fittings that we have in stock. This isn't checking your stock, it's saying what items that you do stock. Now we will be offering at a later date an upgrade for inventory that does track your inventory. And so then it's, any of these you can click on it and then it goes right to that record and see the specific detail. So that's the basics of items. Thank you for your interest in our work, and we look forward to seeing you again and being a part of how FlatRate Pro is changing how the world does flat rate.